Thanks for tuning in to Becoming Something, where we promise to keep the conversation honest and real for young adults in their 20s and 30s. Every moment we live is training for a future moment, and that's why we do this podcast, because we want you to be prepared for everything that life is going to throw at you. Our hope with this podcast is that it would help you become all that God desires you to be. So with that in mind, let's jump right in to this week's episode of Becoming Something.
What's up, podcast world? It's your boy JP. Forgive Kathy for interrupting my introduction.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I have to start talking and you forget to introduce me that I'm here.
Kathy's here, everybody.
Thank you. Hi.
For what it's worth, I don't think you've ever forgot to introduce us.
I know.
Well, you always distract him before he finishes.
Guys, we've almost been doing this you took a break, every single week for 6 years.
Shut up.
Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
Yeah, because y'all were in the hallway.
Crazy.
And I was like, hey, guys, I want to do a podcast.
We barely hired you.
I really did not expect it to be where it's at today. Did y'all? You probably did. You've got faith.
I mean,
listen, I was at a conference this weekend. I couldn't get anywhere without being stopped.
Why do you say
it's such a hassle.
Nate?
I'm just telling you what's
Such a
true.
hassle.
I'm trying to get places, and it's like, hey, you changed my life. And I'm like, I know. And then
No,
it's
God,
like, hey,
God changed your life.
it's like, hey, you're my favorite on the podcast. I'm like, I know, but I gotta go
God's gonna
pee.
smite
Let me
you.
keep walking. And anywee, so Christian conferences are hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
sounds
And it's
tough.
like
You
I
just have to
was
turn
like
down
speaking there
Sounds
too.
tough. What is
Like you
going
just-
on with your hat?
Listen, I don't like
Love
how I
you
wear it.
for you.
Who is
Yeah,
it?
it's a ministry that gave it to me. And so, yeah, you can keep taking shots at the Porch Houston if you want. But
Love you for you.
yeah, they say it's like go in peace to love and serve the Lord, what we say here.
Love you for you.
Yeah. Hey,
Love
we
you
love you,
for
we're
you.
for you.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
And then you're sponsored by
Adidas.
Adidas today.
Yeah.
Adidas with the
Yeah.
Sendero jacket.
Oh, yeah.
It was dressed like JP Day. How do you think we did? Who did it? Who did it
Y'all did
good?
not do too good.
Okay. Well, I did try. That's all I
do
had.
too well.
We're taking like a staff picture, and all of a sudden, Kathy runs in the room.
Listen, I have a radar that goes off when I know a photo is about to be taken. Not really. I just was walking by. It was the Lord's timing, His providence. And I
Hey,
jumped
Merry
in.
Christmas, guys.
Oh, wow. Today's Christmas?
No, it's close.
It's about to be.
It's really, really
Exciting.
close.
What'd y'all get me for Christmas?
She said,
this
today's Christmas? I forgot. How was Cuero?
It was great. Shout out to the women in Cuero. You
What were
guys
we talking about a
amazing.
second ago? And I was like, oh, we got to get this.
Okay, so
We
I was at a
like
coffee
start
shop
recording.
with JP out of town, and all of a sudden this guy walks in with a an
Oh, yeah,
amazing
yeah, yeah.
shirt. On the back of his shirt is
my
tattooed-
tattoo.
that JP has on
From
his chest.
Proclamation Coalition.
Yeah, Proco. Come to Be So Live. Get a Be So shirt made by Proco. BecomingSomething.com. And anyway, JP's like, oh, I wish my shirt would like stretch out so I could take a picture with this guy.
Because you have a tattoo on your chest.
Just. Why was that? What in the world? Why did you just do
I
that?
admit it where it was.
Why
I
did
didn't
you
get
do
it.
that?
word.
Why did you make chest dirty?
It's like, is that what guys call theirs?
You were about to say like on your hoo-ha or something. That's what it felt like was about to happen.
In my head, I was like, wait, do guys call it a chest?
Wait, on your breast, on your right breast. What?
I'm sorry.
Oh, pectoral on your right
Yeah,
pectoral.
pectoral. Okay, so
And I was
Goodness.
like, hey, you just lift your shirt up. And then he's like, oh, you're right, totally. So he goes up to him. He's like, Nate, take this picture. He's lifting his
I
shirt
go,
up.
hey, hold on, we're gonna do a photo op. We're like
In the
this-
coffee
we're in
shop, you take your
with, like,
shirt off?
families and stuff. No, I just pulled my shirt up, and then I was like, hey, I'm gonna post this, and Nate's like, you cannot do that. I was like, when did Nate become the voice of reason?
that is when you know you've
I
gone
was
too
like,
far.
bro,
I'm like, what
Louis
in the
Giglia
world?
would not post
He
that.
did say that. He was like, think about what Louis would do.
Forget what was this dude. It's
Oh,
totally-
man.
JP's like, I gotta be me. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And you
All right.
posted it
I straight up did.
in a pretty
But I
modest way.
censored out
You
my
did-
nip. I did.
Thank you for that.
I did, guys. Why are y'all like third graders on the human
Honestly,
anatomy?
we really
Oh
are.
my goodness.
What happened?
We missed a lot.
All right, Matt, what's the question? This is going to be a good one. I got a feeling.
How's it going, JP?
Hey,
Me
it's
and
good.
my boys here were listening to the podcast about where all the godly guys at.
Oh.
And I'm standing alongside another godly guy, and we're
Oh.
wondering, where are all the godly girls at? Am I right?
Yeah, we live over here in Orlando,
Group
Florida,
effort.
and it's real hot out here, and it seems like that all these girls on Instagram want to post about how hot it is with a lack of clothing.
Oh.
So and these are the godly girls at church. So if you could just help us navigate this predicament, that would be awesome.
How do we move forward with this information? Thank you.
This is the one you chose?
Listen, I like these guys. Two
What
guys
do
from
y'all think their
Orlando.
names are?
Is it
Mickey and Donald.
Are we talking about where are the godly girls?
Or why are the godly girls
modest?
showing
Why are the
their
godly
bellies
girls
on Insta?
showing
their
their
chests.
Oh my gosh, Kathy!
Wow.
Why are you so awkward?
Oh,
That's why you keep me
man.
here. Pay me the big
Okay,
bucks.
so we
What's
did an
a lot we
episode.
should talk about?
We did an episode on where all the godly guys at.
Yes.
And then we got multiple emails.
And
in.
we did an email. We did an episode on modesty.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
go back and listen to that one.
Yeah. But then I started getting emails from people really all over, but even more specifically in the Northeast saying, no, where are all the godly girls at? Like the young adult ministry in our church is mainly guys.
No way.
Yeah, which really is, it's not our experience in Waco, but I've heard it enough times.
There was a New York Times article.
That's true.
That was written and
about a church in Waco.
About Waco, yeah. They
Yeah,
looked
saying
at,
there's all
they
the
looked at a
guys.
church in Waco.
Yeah, more guys are coming to church and girls are leaving the church.
Wow.
I wonder if that's like some of the political movement.
I think
too.
yeah, I think it is.
Mm.
But yeah, it happened enough, and now someone just sent that too, where it's like,
But
man,
they're
where are
from
the godly
Florida.
girls at?
I can tell
Yeah.
you confidently there are more God-fearing women than God-fearing men. It's my list of single girls looking to get married is longer than my list of single guys looking to get married.
For sure.
Because I think pornography is such an epidemic, and there's a real study, like the longer you wait and the more options you have, the more variety you have, it's more difficult to commit.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's harder to commit, and so it'll just keep you single. So like social media is keeping you single, dating apps are keeping you single. The quantity, the swipe left, swipe right,
Yep.
swipe left, swipe right, looking at all of the different pictures like that, it's working against you.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, they're talking about girls that are posting things that I don't know are immodest. I feel like girls feel that pressure of I have to do this to get a husband, because those are the girls that guys pay attention to.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know what are
they
girls
post
supposed
it
to do?
because it works. They do
Yeah.
get attention.
Yeah.
Just not
So like, what's a
where
girl
they
supposed to do? Just sit there and like
wait.
wait and be immodest and hope someone notices her,
Oh.
or like go and do something that would like make people take notice?
Well, what's a girl to do?
Yeah.
Like not post immodest pictures. That's a good place to start.
But if you're single and wanting a guy, like I don't like what
Is
are
it
the,
better to like post immodest pictures and get a date,
Yeah.
or
right.
not post immodest pictures and be single forever?
Exactly.
Okay, real talk. I think I'm seeing this happen a lot in Waco, and I'm sure it's happening everywhere.
Well, seeing what?
Girls are settling because they would rather be married to someone who's maybe not running as hard or as fast after Jesus as they are, because they'd rather be married than be single. So, yeah, I think people would rather end up with maybe not the godliest, best guy, because when they're looking around, they can't find them. And so they're like, well, I better just go with Joe Schmo, or else I have no option.
Who is Joe Schmo?
He's a schmuck.
Oh, wow.
I think it's true. You always say, like,
I think
don't
that's
lower
like
your standards.
I think that's a bad word.
Schmuck?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, we're gonna have to bleep it out again.
Like in Hebrew or something.
But, like, you always say, don't lower your standards, lengthen your patience. And I am seeing in real time girls that are tired of waiting.
Well, say it slower. I stole this, but don't lower your standards, lengthen your patience. Here, what's better? Is it better to stay single and be immodest, or be modest and single, or immodest and married? It's like, of course, it's better to be modest and single, and you don't believe it, but it's just like, man, God is good, and marriage is not ultimate, and singleness is not JV. And Jesus says in Matthew 19 that there are some who are celibate for the sake of the kingdom. Not everyone who can accept it. Not everyone can accept it, but those who can should. And then Paul says in 1 Corinthians 7 that he wishes you had the same gift of him, which was single. He calls singleness a gift. And I just think we stop viewing singleness as a gift. So I think that's a part of the problem. And then we try to take matters into our own hands. I think there's a lot of women, and I'm not saying just women. Men struggle the same way too. But there's a lot of women who struggle with control. And I see that every Friday. Can I ask him out? Can I shoot my shot? Can I do this? And I think an aspect of that control is to try to get a guy with your body. And what you're going to if you use your body as bait, you're going to catch a dumb bass. That's it, a dumb bass.
That was good.
Yeah.
Did you've thought about that before? You said it before?
I might have said it before.
Yeah, I've heard it
a lot.
I've heard it before.
Okay,
You've
well,
heard
that
it
was
what?
really good.
No, sorry, this is the first time.
If you use bad bait, what'd you say?
If you use your
body
body
as bait.
Oh.
if you use your body as bait, you're going to catch a dumb bass.
That's good.
I agree.
Put that on a T-shirt.
Put it on a T-shirt.
A modest T-shirt. Okay, but this episode specifically.
So
is
why do you
not
think those
wondering-
guys
Yeah.
are saying there aren't any godly girls? Are you saying there are godly girls, you just don't see them or notice them? Or like what's their issue?
Yeah, I think they're probably attracted to the wrong things. I mean, I've got a list of God-fearing women if you want to marry one. But guys go, whoa, marriage, whoa,
Yeah.
no, I want to date for 2
Yes.
years,
Yeah.
3 years. It's like, dude, dating, man, is outdated.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we should write a book about it.
Like I've been, truly, to say more than I should. I've been studying this not just because of the book, Outdated, but for the whole, like, I want to create a matchmaking service or like an app. And so we've been looking at how, there are bad doctors who are compensated to keep you sick because if you're sick, they get paid, right? And that's not what a good doctor wants you to be well. A bad doctor wants you to stay sick so they get paid. Well, like dating apps really are trying to keep you dating because that's how they get paid. Like a good dating app would be a matchmaking service that would get you married, and they're trying. It's not a profitable model, if you will.
Yeah.
But it works. And so like I'm trying to think through, hey, how do you come up with a service that works, that helps a God-fearing man and a God-fearing woman find each other so they can start a God-fearing family? That's God's goal. Dating is miserable. Dating is the interview. Like the interview is when you go home with knots in your stomach wondering how you did. Are you going to get the job? Marriage is you getting the job. Singleness is awesome. Marriage is awesome. Dating is awful. You want to minimize the time in the dating. Dating is like, all right, we're here. I really like you. I'm physically attracted to you. I want to be with you, but I can't. And now we're just going to go to dinner together instead of being able to do all the things for a really long period of time, right? And so if you're a God-fearing man, find a God-fearing woman and marry her. And we get caught up in, well, how important is physical attraction? What if I'm not attracted to her? What about this? What about that? It's just like, man, I think as a society, we have undermined the idea of commitment. You get married and you stay married. And if they turn ugly, you stay married. And if they turn awful, you stay married. And if they turn crazy, you stay married. And you get help and you bring people in. And I'm not saying stay in an abusive relationship. Surely you can have healthy boundaries. You do life in church. You have a life group around you. Like there is a right way to do this, which protects you. And there is a lot of wrong ways to do this, which will keep you single when you want marriage. And it, and so it's just like, I know some really God-fearing women. I mean, some of them are in their 40s and they desire marriage, but it's just like dudes in their 40s who are single. It's like, man, it's tough for them to commit because they're still attracted to the 23-year-old co-ed.
So you like really are making a matchmaking service? Like you're not just saying this?
No, I really am. Yeah.
Like anyone could be on it?
You
mean,
probably
not
have to be
me.
single.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, if you're
Not
single.
asking for myself.
And you have to be a Christian.
Okay, that's
For
awesome.
Christians, yeah.
That is, people are
I feel
going
like
to be
that's good
so
news.
excited about that.
Yeah.
When is it going to be released?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It might be out there.
Should you tell people what it's called?
I don't know.
Okay.
I qualified date. I don't know if I can say that or not, but
Yeah.
qualifiedDate.com.
Wow.
There's a standard of physical attraction, right? I'm just saying, like, I'm not, like, beauty is objective, and yet there is like a subjective aspect to beauty. I mean, there's a reason why model agencies choose models the way they do.
Totally.
And I'm just saying, if you want to come after me for that, what's frustrating is I think we're actually on the same side. Is what I'm saying is, guys, you've got to learn to be attracted to, find attractive character, like beauty. That's what Peter writes. You know, it's just like the spirit inside of someone, and because charm is deceitful and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. So the scripture says that there is this thing called beauty, and it's fleeting. It's going away, but the inward beauty doesn't fade.
I think there is something in cultures not necessarily like Waco, Texas, that are telling young adult women, hey, to be a strong, independent woman, like, don't be a part of the church because they're going to hold you back to, like, all that you can be, which I think is why women are leaving the church in certain areas, because it's like, man, to be, like, a strong, independent woman.
Like an empowered woman.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to be a part of the church because that's, like, they empower men and not women. I think that's true. Like you mentioned, like there's a political shift with men and women as well. So I don't know. It's not the culture that we're in, and
there is like the political cultural lie, specifically around women's bodies. I mean, that's a huge part of the movement right now. Is your body, so it's your choice. And I think that empowerment, that female empowerment, is like a hard message to turn down if you're not thinking biblically. So yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you there. It's curious because Waco, I feel like I see so many more godly girls, but I do sense something shifting in culture where it's like, I don't want men to tell me what to do with my bodies, or I don't want men to tell me how to live in marriage, or I don't want to submit to a man in marriage. And so potentially they are leaving the church that they feel like is more like patriarchal. And
the whole women's empowerment movement seems to be making women men, which feels like what he says in Genesis 3 is going to happen. He says, your desire will be for your husband. That word desire is the same word in Genesis 4 where it says to Cain, sin is crouching out your door, and it desires you. It desires to rule over you. And, you know, it seems like the complementarianism is under attack and being replaced with egalitarianism. And I don't know, man. I desire better for my sisters. There's like something out there where here's what I would just say. Here's what I'd offer you to the listener is like, find the marriage you want between two people who love Jesus and do what they do. You know?
Yeah.
Like find, like I would hope the three of our marriages are worth, you know, like you're like, hey, I want y'all, like I know these guys, they've got a great marriage. Like, hey, Monica's not oppressed at home. I am seeking to love her as Christ loved the church, wanting to set aside my desires to love her and serve her selflessly. I don't always do that. It's like sometimes my sin nature wins, but I don't want to be overpowering. I don't want to be, in any way oppressive to her. I want her to be able to do everything that God desires for her to do. I see that in your relationship with Matt, who's in the room right now, which is wild. Like he's joined us on staff. I see that in your relationship with Adley, and we joke a lot on here, and so it feels serious now. We joke a lot on here, but we like know each other and we love each other, and like we've gone through hard things together, you know, like marital fights or miscarriages or sick kids or, you know, financial struggles and seasons, and it's like, man, we each have a teammate to like help us in those things, and it's beautiful. And so when you think about marriage, like that's what I want for you. I think when you're single, you so often think about the physical part. There's a lot. I mean, I get thousands of questions every Friday, and I'll just tell you, there's a lot of people who get married and don't enjoy sex. And like sex is such a small aspect of marriage. I mean, like 0.6% of the time, if you have a really healthy sex life, you're having sex 0.6% of the time, which means you need to be really, really great at all the other stuff 99.4% of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if everyone listening knows what complementarian and egalitarian is, but isn't complementarian by nature devaluing women?
No, I think it's just taking Ephesians 5 at a face value.
Could you explain?
It's the word submit is where people struggle. Like, wives, submit to your husbands, to your own husbands. It's not submit to men. It's not submit to your boyfriend.
Right.
It's saying, hey, there's roles played in a marriage, and that the husband is to model what Jesus did for the church. He laid his life down for her. And then in laying his life down for her, and then the wife is to follow the husband, but it's not follow him into sin.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I mean, she follows God first and foremost, right? And so I think it's people are like, oh, it's outdated, it's anti-biblical, there's neither Jew nor Greek, Jew nor Gentile, rather, male nor female. And I'm like, that thread through Scripture, I think complementarianism is a biblical idea that is being twisted and misunderstood at times.
I think when a complementarian marriage is really healthy, it could look honestly more egalitarian. In the sense that when Matt is laying down his life for me, he's elevating me, he's lifting me up, he's giving me more opportunities. So to the world, I would think that would make us look more equal.
And I just think about it in our own, I'm like, it's these are silly examples, but it's like, where are we going to eat tonight? Wherever Monica wants to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we going to do this weekend? Whatever she wants to do. And I enjoy that. Like, that's fun for me to let her, or to make provision for her to have her desires. And then she often turns that around and flips it on its head. It's like, no, let's do what you want to do.
It's literally me coming home last night from a prayer night and crawling into bed at 10:30, and Matt saying that he did all the lunches for the kids for the next day. Like that, serving so that I could go, be with my friends.
People want their spouse to be that, they want to find their best friend. Like, this is a lot of Hollywood language. Like, hey, I want you to be my best friend. And I don't mind the best friend language, but complimenting each other means you're not the same person, that you're good at different things. Like, one is a protector and a provider. The other one is a nurturer and kind and gentle. Do those roles reverse in some marriages? Absolutely. Is there provision for that in the grace of God? Absolutely. Hear me clearly. I believe that. And, it's like, hey, he did make us different. I can't do everything Monica can do. There's so many things that she can do way better than I can do. And there's some things that I can do way better than she can do. When somebody bursts in the door at night, I'm not going to be like, hey, Monica, go check that out. Will you see who's here? Clearly there's a burglar, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally.
And so, anyways, that's a weird turn in this.
I don't think it's necessarily a hard and fast rule for you. There are people on staff who would be egalitarian, not complementarian.
Sure.
But yeah.
That's
and
true.
I don't know if this is reckless for you in your life or not. So
hard and fast, it's my conviction, but I've got grace for people with other convictions for sure.
If you're like, man, I don't know where the godly girls are, and I live in Orlando, I would consider moving to Waco, Texas.
Yeah, why are you looking for godly girls on Instagram? And it's like, I know that's the new way.
That's where I was about to say.
Go get in church. Just like Rebecca went to the well, or Isaac went, or Eleazar actually went to the well. He went where people were serving others.
Yeah.
And so go to a place, go serve in your church. Go be where single Christians are. And that really is my heart, to help you find other single Christians who are looking for a spouse, not looking for someone to date. Dating is a made up idea. Not looking for someone to date, looking for someone to marry, right? And so go where those people are. But again, this is not child's play. These are not childish games. And it kind of goes with our fasting episode. At some point, you got to grow up and say, all right,
put childish ways behind me.
you put childish. 1 Corinthians 13, when I was a child, I walked like a child, I thought like a child, I talked like a child. But when I became a man, I put childish ways behind me. And now I'm operating in, I desire a family. I want to find a wife. And people are like, well, I can't afford to get married. Marriage is a financial hack. I mean, you actually save money. You got two people with two incomes coming under one roof. It's saves you money. Yeah, but weddings are expensive. Well, they don't have to be. In Texas, it costs you $72 to get married. A marriage license is $72. So I think you're thinking about this all wrong. And again, I don't want two immature people to get married. I don't want two people to get married who shouldn't get married. But if you are a God-fearing person and you desire a family and you desire marriage, find a God-fearing person. Learn to be attracted to what God is attracted to. Learn to find attractive what God finds attractive. Like, truly, like, pray for that. And man, people who've taken that advice have really healthy, happy, beautiful marriages, beautiful families even.
Yeah, and ask people at your church, hey, who do I not know who's a single woman that I should date?
That is a
and then just
great thing to
just
do.
trust them.
Yes.
And back to the interview, it's like the job interview. Like, think about what the job of marriage, and who would be a good partner to you. It's like you really don't want someone with all the same skill sets you have.
Right.
You want someone with complementary skill
Yeah,
sets.
Mhm.
That's why I embrace that theological idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
And seriously, if you are a very godly guy, you are at church and there are no godly girls there, send me an email. If you are actually serious, because I have some amazing women in mind that I would love to set you up with.
Yep. That's what's
If you're
up.
not weird.
You don't even have an email anymore, though.
I do. It's on the website, kdavidson@harriscreek.org.
Oh, that still works.
I do
Oh,
work
didn't know
here,
that.
you know? I do.
didn't know that still worked.
I have a paycheck that comes from this church. I lead a ministry
Why
area.
is she getting paid? You
I
said
knew it. Why did you open this?
You
can
said
of worms?
everyone here's a
I knew you were
volunteer.
gonna do that.
My
I
bad.
knew. I
My
told
bad.
you not to talk about that.
Gosh.
Unbelievable.
Ugh.
Guys, we love y'all. Thanks for listening. See you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Becoming Something, where we promise to keep the conversation honest and real for young adults in their 20s and 30s. Every moment we live is training for a future moment, and that's why we do this podcast, because we want you to be prepared for everything that life is going to throw at you. Our hope with this podcast is that it would help you become all that God desires you to be. To find out more, visit becomingsomething.com.